Hi everyone, I hope you're having a great day. My name is Lynslo and thanks for choosing to build this with me today. This is apartment 103 of our Anchorpoint apartments in San Sequoia. If you haven't seen the other ones, please feel free to do that. I will link it right here so you can take out the shell of the original apartment. This one is actually for grandparents who have just downsized and they want their family to come around just not that often because they only have an additional bedroom and it's very narrow and it's only for their grandchild. So I love the concept of building this. It's very cluttered in the kitchen. It's a little bit cluttered on the table. Like we have, a piece of mail, but I love all of this furniture because it is giving off more of a vintage feel. And I live for that, honestly. You can see that I'm going back and forth between apartments that I've done before and what I'm doing now is because I want to keep the same light fixtures. I want to keep the same cabinets and some of the same concepts. So that's what I'm working on right now. Then I just go into a lot of the customization that goes with creating the apartments. So I feel like they were once people who liked to see, the world together. So I put this postcard thing up and then I have a bunch of postcards. And I think it just really alludes to the fact that they've had a long and fulfilling life. And now they've moved into this apartment ready to settle down. And this is what that looks like exactly. It's not too big, it's not too small for their apartment, and it works for them. They have a lot of seating area, when they do want their family to come by and see them, but not enough for them to stay, if you know what I mean. And I feel like this couch right here is the epitome of a grandparent's couch or a more vintage couch. And I love the tufting. Is it tufting? Yeah, I think maybe. I love that little pattern that we have on the back of this. And I feel like the colors that I really gravitated towards were around the darker green vibe and also deep purples, more of a plum color. I honestly cannot even begin to tell you what my thought process was for this when it comes to individual decorations. I just really thought, would my grandparents or would a set of grandparents actually have this in their home, and what would be the purpose? Because I remember growing up, I would go to my older family's homes and they would have little knickknacks everywhere, and then I would be like, why is this here? And they would tell me some outrageous story, and most of the time it would be outrageous, but then sometimes it'd be like, oh, I found it at a flea market, you know what I mean? So I just felt like I wanted to put that into this build, and because they aren't that big on technology, I added one of the TVs that we got with Eco Lifestyle. We have the item that came with Parenthood, and it just shows oh, they have a grandchild, and that's their artwork. So I felt like that worked especially well with this one. And like I said, I go back and forth with a lot of decorations, but I know for a fact there's a lot in the kitchen, and I love it. Actually, it just works so perfectly when I think about the grandparents who are actually living here. And yes, and then I'm so happy I did this around the same time, when we first got to San Sequoia, because obviously it's on a lot in San Sequoia, but I added some of the puzzles there because I figured they have a lot of leisure time. They want to be able to do a lot of, smaller things, and this would be the perfect time to do it. They have a lot of books, they have puzzles, there's a TV there. I wish I could have added some kind of radio or something, but like I said, it is a smaller apartment here, so I couldn't add a lot of things. But what I can tell you is that there will never be a chance where I can add more books to a bookshelf to make it look a little bit more, lived in and like a bookshelf and not something that was placed there. I will always take that opportunity because I want it to be very cluttered. What is the point of having a bookshelf if it's half empty in The Sims 4? Now, in person, I can't say anything because I have a bookshelf and there are just books that I've read before. I don't actually have a lot of paperback books. So we're not talking about in real life, IRL. We're talking about in The Sims 4 because right now I've been reading a lot of books actually on my iPad, and yeah, but that's another story. So I'm going ahead and adding some more decorations around here. I felt like this collage was perfect for this area. I was thinking about adding a TV that was like mounted to the ceiling, so that way, you know, it would take up a little bit of space. But I don't think that was the best decision because, as you can see, they have that smaller TV here, and it just works well for the space, especially with the collage of photos. All in all, I really do think that this apartment was a little bit more challenging, but it was so much fun trying to think about who the grandparents are, why exactly they would do certain things, and essentially this is probably one of my favorite ones from the build thus far. Granted, we've only done 3 and we have one more, I believe, on this floor, but you know, I am a little bit biased because I think I'm gonna grow to love every one of these apartments, and there's absolutely nothing I can do about it but continue to. But anyway, as we move from the living space to, you know, the bedrooms, we're just gonna take a look outside, and this is where I'm adding, you know, a planter box and a seating area just so that they can go out there and look at the water, because I would want to do that. There are no responsibilities. You just have to live in leisure at this point. I would want to look at the water all the time and just read a nice good book on the balcony. So that's exactly what they're doing. And then I move into the bedroom. Now the bedroom is on the softer side because they don't really care to have much here. Then I have something that's similar to a vanity, but it's really just a drawer chest and it has a mirror above it. But like I said, I definitely feel like they are not people who need a lot of things in here. So that is a really nice vanity. And if you want to, you could play more into the fantasy and add like one of the bar chairs there if you want to. But I think it's really nice. I think it's a great place like for grandparents because they have a lot of storage. Like that's where they can put like old blankets, old knitted blankets that they might have done, you know, some family heirlooms kind of thing. So I feel like this really is an example of what my thought of what I would want to be, you know, living in if I was, you know, a grandparent or getting older in age, you know what I mean? So you can see I definitely thought about that plan because I put down that box that came with nifty knitting and then some other things that I definitely felt like they didn't want in the main area or in the guest bedroom. So I just put it here. Like they have a box and I feel like that's where all their like medicine would be, or like their lotions and things like that. So I added that and then a little rocking chair. And then I love this bed. I don't think I filmed you all like looking at it, like me putting it down, but I really do like it. Like that swatch is so beautiful. So I really hope you all like this. Again, if you want to download this, it's already up on the gallery, so you can go ahead and download it. It is under apartment 103, I believe, but if you go to, you know, my kind of profile, it's LynzloByChoice, and you can see the list of the apartments up to this. Now, up to this, it's only been 3. And it's all been in the same building, but we are wrapping up and I'm really excited about it. I can't believe I built this entire thing. Now, the flow of these are very different, I've noticed, but I'm kind of living for it. Like I kind of like it. So let me know what you think, or you know, what kind of apartment that you think I should do next in the comments, because I definitely read all of them and they're very helpful. If you don't know, I did build a cafe and that was a subscriber request. Like that was something that someone wanted to see from me. So if you do want to see anything from my perspective, please let me know again in the comments. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, and you know, click the notification bell. That way you can be notified whenever I make new builds, because I do make a lot of builds. The schedule hasn't been as schedule-like lately because I've been doing a lot of work things, but I am still making content and I am still here for you all. So please do that for me. That helps me and lets me know that you like what I'm doing. And I will see you in the next video. Bye, everyone.